All right, right on, folks. Let's get right to the meat and potatoes. Today we are cutting a slab of granite. Now, this piece of granite is going to be the bench in my steam shower. I got this offcut from my local stone guy. He often puts his offcuts out front of his shop for free. That's a good tip. Now, the blade I'm using is just a diamond blade, a regular one that I got from the Home Depot. You can also purchase one on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description. All right, so all I did was I put a piece of tape down. I drew a line with a Sharpie, a nice straight line where I wanted to cut it. And I'm just taking several passes. I'm freehanding this. It's no big deal. I've got the hose running on a trickle. Now this back edge, I didn't cut all the way through and I'm cracking it off. This will be the back wall, and this will get covered by tile so you won't see this particular edge, but the side edge I did cut from the top and the bottom to get a nice straight line. All right, you can definitely see that this is a messy job. I've got the rain gear on. Here I'm just cleaning up this back edge a little bit. A good thing to do is to plug your angle grinder into a GFCI, especially when you have some water running over the joint when you're cutting it. That helps to keep the dust down to a minimum. Here I also have the fan going. That helps to blow away any dust. All right, right on, folks. I got the shower bench seat cut. Now I want to polish this edge. I purchased this polishing kit on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description. It goes on the grinder here, on the angle grinder. It's a 5/8 11 thread. And this is a Velcro hook and loop right here. This is a 50 grit pad, and it goes all the way up to 1500 grit. So I'm going to work my way through some of these grits. Oh, I got the respirator here. This is key. If you haven't seen my video on the VersaFlow respirator, this is key because when you're grinding this stuff and this dust is flowing, you don't want to be breathing any of this in. I will have a little water going on this, but I got the fan blowing past me. I got the respirator, right? It's got the filter cartridge right here on the back. This is key. All right, I'm going to get busy, start going through these grits, polishing this edge. All right, so while I have the 50 grit on the angle grinder, I can start to create this quarter round edge on the top and the bottom, pretty much on all of the edges. Now, if you're careful, you can make a really nice quarter round, but this is where all the shaping is done with the 50 grit. And then I start working my way up through all the other grits to get a really nice polish. All right, I want to show you here just after the 50 grit. This is the initial cut. It's actually looking pretty good. I'm just putting a slight radius on this top edge on these two sides. So I'm just working my way through all of these grits. I'm taking my time. This granite is pretty dense, so it takes a little while. If you're using something like marble, that's a lot softer. It goes a lot quicker. This is a man-made marble, so it's a little bit more dense. All right, let's go install the bench and the threshold. I'll say this on a lot of tile videos that I see. You see the guys and they're showing you what they're doing, but they're not telling you what size trowel they're using. They're not telling you what thin set they're using. They're just kind of giving you a fast forward. I got the 1/2-inch notch trowel. I got the Latticrete Multi-Max Light Thin Set. So I'm going to put on a coat here with the 1/2-inch notch trowel, and then I'm going to put a skim coat, back butter the bottom of the bench. away from the front edge. You can see this has a fiberglass mesh on it. Muscle this big boy into place here. Did I tell you that this is a heated shower bench? I did put the Dietrich heating cable underneath this bench. I also put it in the shower floor and in the bathroom floor. I made a whole video about that. You can go back and check that out on my channel. Right back here on this edge, I'm going to put a little bit more thin set where this meets the wall. All right, now we're gonna jump in the DeLorean and go back to the future, and we're gonna set the threshold now. This is after I've already got some tiles set. Now here, I'm just laying this in dry, and I want a 1/4 inch pitch on this threshold. So I have some machinist parallels that I'm using here, and one is the 1/4 inch dimension and the other is 1/2 inch dimension. So I'm just using these. After the threshold is nice and level, I'm just setting these on here, putting a little mark for a 1/4 inch high and another mark here for a 1/2 inch high, and then I'm using my Starrett rule to connect the dots and make a nice line here. Okay, now this will be the line that I set the top of my threshold to so that the water pitches into the shower. Now I've already set all the tile that goes below it, and now I'm filling this whole void full of thin set. Here I've switched to Schluter all set. You can see I'm back buttering the threshold, and I'm setting that in there. Strap a level on. Make sure we're... that is dead nuts right there. Beautiful. Perfect. Perfect. I'm digging that. I am digging that. All right, I'll stick some shims around here so this doesn't move. All right, right on, folks. That is it for the shower bench and the shower threshold video. That is how I cut these and install them. Here's a better look at them. I think it turned out really nice. Now, I'll do another video later on the shower niche. This is where I cut some marble to go in for the shower niche. And these pieces I cut on the tile saw. These were small enough to put up on the tile saw. All right, like, subscribe, the whole 9 yards, and watch your top knot. And say, if you like this video, be sure to check out my other videos. I think I have close to 150 videos now up on YouTube at the time I'm recording this. And a really cool one was one I did on a railroad track anvil. I thought that was a super cool video. You're gonna wanna check that out. I'll put a link somewhere around here.